Welcome, everybody, to Scott County High School in beautiful Georgetown, Kentucky, for your Georgetown Community Hospital Game of the Week. First of 3 games this week, but no question, it's the big one, the one we've been waiting for a couple of months since the Toyota Classic, the Backyard Brawl, Scott County and Great Crossing. I'm Cal Oaks with Keith Greiser. And Keith, we've had to wait a long time since that third place game in December. It really feels like both teams have played some of their best basketball as of late, and I'm expecting this to be, maybe, knock on wood, the best of, this is now the 6th game in the series so far.
Yeah, I think that the electricity is in the air. It's good that both of these teams are putting it together here at the end of the season. Just a couple games left for each team after tonight. But you know, the JV game went down to the wire, the last second shot. And this place was a buzz for the end of the JV game, and the band's here tonight. You know, Coach Page has got his green jacket on, and you know that it's a big-time game with the crosstown rivalry. Everybody's excited. It's great to see a big crowd here tonight to support both of these teams.
Yeah, I turned into the parking lot, turned the corner, and immediately I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to fight for a parking space for the first time in 2 years around here. That was something.
Yeah, it was great. I had to park down at the middle school, and, you know, when there are folks parked up in the upper lot in the front of the school, and it's halfway full, you know that it's going to be a good crowd. And I think there will be more people trickle in. We've still got 6 minutes left until the game. And so I would say we're at least 75% full in here right now, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, this is absolutely the closest to capacity that either building has been in 2 years, you know, since all this craziness started in this chapter of human history. And we're glad to be turning a corner a little bit and getting a chance to see these 2 great basketball teams. Great Crossing has been ranked in the top 25 the past couple of weeks. They come in off a loss, the end of their 6-game winning streak, as they jumped out big early against Lincoln County, another top 25 program. But the Patriots stormed back, hit 12 threes, and won that game 64-57. The big deficiency, other than rebounding and defending the 3 in that game, was free throws. Great Crossing was 6 for 16. That has been an Achilles heel in close games, and I would expect, being another close game tonight, that's been a point of emphasis, certainly on Sunday in practice and today in the 3-game shoot-around.
Yeah, the games I've done recently, you know, they haven't still shot a great percentage, but they hit the clutch ones at the end, and so it sounds like that, you know, when you miss 10, it's tough to overcome against a top 20 team like Lincoln County.
Great Crossing 21-6 on the season. That was a school record 6-game win streak. They've had several other 3- and 4-game runs this season, and the schedule has been tough. They have lately played GRC, the number 1 team in the state, lost by 9. They beat Jeffersontown, a top 25 program. They beat Seneca, which had beaten some top 25 teams. And they beat Henry Clay, another ranked opponent. So they have been peaking at the right time. For Scott County, it's been sometimes a case of close but no cigar. They were within 2 points of Henry Clay, lost at the buzzer on a putback layup off an air ball. Took Bracken County down to the wire, lost to one of the top pure scorers in the state in that one last Wednesday night. Bounced back Saturday with a kind of a workmanlike win, 56-50 over Sayre. It was business they needed to take care of in order to clinch a tie for 3rd place in the district and get into a coin flip with Douglas in hopes of missing the quarterfinal round. We'll find out how that shakes out when they meet on Thursday to set those brackets. But Scott County, despite its record of 9-14, Keith, really has been playing its best basketball lately too. And the one guy who's really been driving things is Nick Mosby. He had a 37-point game against Western Hills, came back against Sayre the other night with 28. Exactly half the Cards' offense. It's predicated on the 3, but he can drive to the rim too.
Yeah, he scores in a lot of ways. You know, I came over on Saturday to watch him play Sayre and saw you guys up here in the corner. But senior night, it was really nice ceremony for the seniors here. They did a good job. Some nice artwork that they gave the kids that were seniors. But back to Mosby, they were doing a box and one on him for the first half, and it had him shook for just a little bit. But man, once he got it going, he was scoring in so many ways. He was driving to the basket, finishing smooth. He was pulling from 3 and looked good doing that. And he plays good defense as well. He's a long-armed kid and can give some people some problems on the defensive end, and just doing it all for Scott County. really a complete player.
Mosby's got his average up to almost 18 points a game. Isaiah Haynes has been in that 14 to 15 point range most of the season. A fairly consistent contributor. He's a senior. Jeremy Hamilton's a senior, big enforcer. He tends to come up big in these Great Crossing games. Scott County will need that out of him again tonight. And Andrew Wilhite, just a defensive enforcer for them. On the Great Crossing side, of course, Vince Dawson III, just smooth as silk. And those hot pink sneakers down there. He averaging himself 17 and a half per game on the season. Malachi Marino averages a double-double, the 6'10 freshman, working on those free throws because that was an Achilles heel for him the other night, 0 for 6 against Lincoln County. They'll be without Gage Richardson, probably their best pure three-point shooter. He's taken advantage of a lot of open shots out there this year, but that just means someone like Ty Skierman, a senior who you want to step up in a game like this, will have even more opportunity to do so.
Yeah, and I think some of their other kids that stepped up recently will have a little bit more minutes that they can contribute. Stakeland had a really nice game against Henry Clay the other week, and I think Carson Walls will have to take up some of the shooting that Gage is leaving behind. But, speaking of senior night for Scott County, we were there for senior night for Great Crossing as well, and it's telling, you and I are going to try to sit here tonight and say we for both teams. And, we've both got our royal blue on tonight so that we can cheer for. We love all these kids. And we want them to all do well.
We were smart. We didn't even coordinate
That's
that.
right.
And look at that. We went completely impartial.
But senior night at Great Crossing, almost every one of their kids was saying, my favorite memory is when we did this against Scott County. And it's a passionate rivalry, and that's what happens when you got crosstown rivals. And so I think we're going to see an impassioned game tonight. I hope that both teams play well and that they play clean and that they get after each other hard, that we see a great game tonight. But I do think it's going to have some emotion attached to it for sure.
Yeah, some people have a swear jar to hold themselves accountable. I said to Keith, we're going to need a we us jar up here. We'll have to throw a quarter in it every time one of us uses that expression tonight. Another player to watch for Great Crossing, Janias Burrell. Another one of those reclassified freshmen along with Dawson. And he's an electrifying player. He's had several 20-plus point games this year. He's a guy you count on to be tough with the basketball in a game like this, and I think he's important to their success.
Yeah, and it's a great matchup going against the senior in Jay-Z Middleton over on Scott County's side. That's going to be a ferocious battle at the point guard spot because they can both get after you, and they're both quick enough to get by you and make good things happen for their teammates. I'm anxious to see that battle.
Both teams with their injury situations go about 8 deep right now, so we'll keep an eye on the foul trouble as well. As the other night against Sayre, Middleton, Hamilton, Wilhite sometimes had to go sit, but gave a chance for people like Quade Miles, Lamarion McGrath to step up for the Cards, in some cases for their biggest minutes of the season in a big spot. We are just about ready for the national anthem. The band is here tonight, and I think you'll agree with me. That increases the atmosphere about fivefold here. Just makes it feel even more of a buzz, and we're glad to have them here in
Absolutely.
The building.
Yeah, it's great when they're here.
Glad you could join us if you are not here in the arena, here on NFHS Network and newsgraphic.com. Once again, want to thank Georgetown Community Hospital. They will present tonight's player of the game at Game's End. But right now, we'll turn it over to PA announcer Bill Holland and the Scott County Band for your national anthem. Welcome back, Cal Oaks, along with Keith Greiser. Happy Valentine's Day to y'all. Hope you got your wine and dine in and settled in to watch this game for the next 90 minutes or so, as we're going to bring you a situation where there's probably no love lost at times between a couple of rivals here. The one thing about this rivalry that stands out to me is we have yet to have a game decided by single digits. They've all been 10 or more. Don't want to jinx it, but it feels like tonight might be, especially as you mentioned, the JV game came right down to the wire. A steal and a three by Jalen Warren to tie it for a great crossing with 6 seconds left, and then a game winner for Tristan Christopher. We got a presentation down on the court, though, as you might recognize that guy in the beard. His name is Brian Hudson. All-state football, all-state track in 2016, 17, 18, 19, has moved on first to Virginia Tech, now at the University of Louisville. Starts on the offensive line for the football team, stars in the throws and track. He was track athlete of the year in the state of Kentucky in the spring of 2019, and he is being presented with, I believe, his trophy for that occasion, or at least being given his official recognition, as it happened in the final semester of his senior year. It's always good to have these athletes come home and be recognized. He's down there with his family, with Coach Monty McIntyre. It takes a long time for Bill to read his resume, as Big Hood, a 7-time state champion in track, started in football from the first game of his freshman season, was part of a team that went to the 6A state game in 2018 against Mayo.
And he's such a great kid, coming from a great family.
Just every bit the All-American kid.
You talk about somebody that Scott County can be proud of. He's a kid that we can be proud of. He's doing great things, and we're awful proud of the things that he's accomplishing and the way that he's doing it.
His fiance, the uber-talented Riley Ray, down there as well. If you haven't heard her sing the national anthem, you're missing out. They should have had her do that tonight, actually.
Absolutely. She did it at the
Louisville women's game yes. Here not long ago. It went kind of viral.
And she's a great athlete herself.
My goodness, yeah, star in track and
did some bodybuilding. I know she won a bodybuilding competition not long ago.
Yep, very recently saw that. Fans from both schools giving the standing ovation, as Brian's career predated all of this Scott County / Great Crossing stuff. And you can see the banner. Shot put and disc, 7-time state champ, first team All-State all 4 years, New Balance National All-American in both disciplines in 2018.
We talked about outfits tonight. You know, it's about 18 degrees outside. Brian's got his shorts on, just like my freshman. That's the uniform.
He would fit right in up in New England, where it didn't matter how deep in winter it was. There's always some guy outside in shorts, probably myself included. Being introduced, Ty Stierman will start along with Vince Dawson III. Malachi Marino, Janias Burrell, and Jeremiah Godfrey will step in as the fifth starter tonight with Gage Richardson sideline. For Scott County, the usual starting five of Andrew Wilhite, Jay-Z Middleton, Isaiah Haynes, Nick Mosby, and Jeremy Hamilton.
The insertion of Godfrey gives Great Crossing quite a height advantage.
6'10" and 6'6", and if you look at Scott County, Hamilton maybe 6'2", 6'3" on a good day. Probably their tallest athlete is Mosby, but he's a wiry 6'4". He gets there and then gets some rebounds. He has 5 rebounds per game in addition to his team leading scoring output. But This is a team that's been out-rebounded quite a bit. And if you look at the season averages, Great Crossing is about +9 or +10 over Scott County. And that could be a factor. It is loud in here tonight. We've got the band to our left. Great Crossing student section next to them with their back turned as Scott County is introduced. And below us, the Scott County student section. It's probably getting closer to 80 to 85% capacity now. I'm not going to say standing room only, but if you want to be comfortable, you might be standing by the time this one's over.
Yeah, they've got the fatheads out in the Scott County student section. There is standing room only in the Great Crossing student section. They put them up top by the Scott County band, and that is a crowd of humanity up there for sure.
We're just about set to get underway with Malachi Marino jumping it with Isaiah Haynes. Thank you for joining us. Get comfortable. It's going to be a good one.
Veteran official Donnie Werner going to put a ball in play.
Haynes got the tap, but hit it to Dawson. Now Skierman will attempt a three right off the bat, and it's good.
You got to think this is the kind of game that Skierman just lives for.
Hit the very first one in this series his sophomore year. He hit 4 or 5 that swung the game in Great Crossing's direction, and he loves this atmosphere. Haynes kicks it out to Hamilton. Scott County will take its sweet time in the half-court set. Now Mosby with the drive and the kick to Wilhite. Finds Middleton up top. 30 seconds in, 3-0 Great Crossing. Middleton guarded by Dawson, tries to blow by him, now throws it away. Marino deflected it to Burrell. Burrell on the drive, finds Skierman, and kicks it back out to Janias. Guarded by J.Z. Middleton. Loud and bipartisan crowd here at Scott County. Dawson throws it away. Hamilton with the intercept.
Really good position by Jeremy. Giving up a lot of inches, but athletic enough to go get that pass. I do think it's interesting that, Jay-Z is guarding Janias, but on this end, Vince Dawson is guarding Jay-Z. It's an interesting matchup that Steve Page has got.
Wilhite, drive and kick to Haynes for 3, ties it. 3 apiece, 80 seconds in. Skierman hits one, Haynes hits one back.
Really good basketball on the drive and kick.
Burrell finds Skierman again in that same spot on the left wing. He'll try to dump it into Godfrey. Hamilton with his second steal. Here come the Cards. Middleton for Haynes. Deep 3 off the front rim. Dawson long rebound. Dawson drops it to Burrell. Burrell shuffles his feet from the top of the key. Short, but he will get the tip as Scott County had it last. And Burrell will get the reset at the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter. 3-3. Skierman, guarded by Mosby. Finds Godfrey, drops it off to Skierman. Dawson in the corner, guarded by Wilhite. Lost the handle for a moment. Tim Glenn exhorting the defense. Skierman, baseline. Godfrey tries to spin around Haynes. The hook is good. 5-3 Warhawks.
That's a pretty high-level move right there by Godfrey. Took his 2 or 3 dribbles to get in position, then went to the right-handed baby hook. Smooth.
3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a senior starting for the Warhawks tonight. Godfrey is the sophomore. Mosby drives past Skierman, but it's blocked by Ty. It will stay with SC. 5:17 to play, opening period. 5-3 Great Crossing. Middleton to inbound from among the Warhawk cheerleaders. Not a lot of room on that baseline. He will find Mosby. Mosby with Skierman right in his face, partially blocked. Marino rebound. 2 blocks on that possession for Ty. He will drive it, shoot. Air ball, he might have gotten a piece. Hamilton rebound. Haynes has taken 2 threes, made one, missed one, dumps it to Wilhite. Wilhite to Hamilton. Jeremy looking around.
You can tell these guys have played against each other their whole lives. Like Scareman knows to be on that Mosby right hand, and then Mosby knew when Scareman was getting ready to pull.
Coaches don't need to work as much to get the scouting report typed up. There's J.Z. Middleton. Your scouting report says he has unlimited range, and he shows it there, 6'5" SC.
And just like I said for Scareman, I can see this being a game that Middleton just circles on his calendar and can't wait to get to the game.
Middleton did not score against Sayre the other night. He had foul trouble from the very outset. Dawson runs into J.Z. Middleton and will get called for the offensive foul at the 4:15 mark. That's the first foul of the game on either team.
Scott County very deliberate on the offensive end. They're going to run their stuff and try to get good shots.
Middleton to Haynes for three. Yes. That's 3 threes, 2 from Haynes, 1 from Middleton, 9-5 Cards. Skierman will try it again and hit his second.
I think we're in for a fun night, Cal.
It just feels that way. Everybody's on fire to start this one. Middleton the drive, knocked out of his hands, recovered on the floor momentarily by Hamilton, and he'll get a timeout. Tim Glenn will make it a 30.
Really good move by Jay-Z with the crossover, but then great crossing has got help defenders everywhere in the paint right now. They're not really coming out on Hamilton at all. If he's out of the paint, they're leaving Malachi back in there to be a rim protector, which is part of the reason that Scott County decided to shoot so many threes so far.
They've made it work. There has only been one 2-point field goal in this game. It was a hook shot by Jeremiah Godfrey. And we are at the 3:15 to go mark of the first quarter. Haynes uncorked one from way downtown, but for the most part, all these shots have been in the flow of the offense for both sides. And even with Haynes, Tim Glenn will take that if he's on a hot streak. He's the kind of kid like Mosby that can catch fire and you just trust him. Middleton drive and kick to Haynes from inside the arc along the right baseline. 11-8. Haynes with 8 points early.
Really good movement without the basketball there.
Inside to Dawson. Posts up on Mosby. Can't get it to fall in off the front rim. Hamilton rebound. Mosby falls down, gets up. Will Height was throwing the pass in his direction, and Mosby didn't turn around. Turnover for the Cards. 2:46 to play opening quarter. They lead at 11-8 over the Warhawks. Here's Burrell. Drive by Janias. Can't get it to fall. Marino's there. Second chance, no good. And Hamilton's going to get called for the foul from his reaction as he bumps into Marino. Fans love to say over the back, but Marino's the kind of guy that can reach over your back and never even dream of touching you.
Yeah, over the back's not even a foul.
It isn't. It's all about the push, and there was no push. And he will get the 2 free throws, makes the first.
Yeah, the ball bounced off the backboard and then the back of the rim. Jeremy jumped, and then it bounced off the front of the rim. Jeremy landed, and that's all Malachi. When he's landed, he can stretch his arms out long.
Good sign for Marino as he made the first free throw. He'll have another. 0 for 6. The other night, 2 for 2 to start this one, 11-10. Will Height trapped. There's Walls in the game, playing defense in the backcourt along with Burrell. Middleton dribbles through it, finds Will Height, throws it away. Skierman interception. Ty pulls up at the foul line, finds Burrell, deflected by Haynes, recovered by Dawson, stolen by Haynes, who throws it away. Tough sequence there as
the Both teams have gotten a little sloppy here in just the last 30 seconds.
Exchange of turnovers after Great Crossing dodged one bullet, threw it away, and then Scott County returned the favor. The emotions are high with the crowd into it. Dawson misses strong on the back rim. We've got another foul in the rebounding action. Jeremy Hamilton second, team second. And we will probably see Lamarion McGrath. And indeed, Tim Glenn turns to the bench. McGrath has played well, but it's certainly a loss for Scott County when Hamilton is not in the game. And he will probably sit for a while with 2 fouls in the first quarter. Dawson inside from Burrell. It's good. Warhawks lead.
They've run that curl play a couple of times and gotten some nice looks off of it for Dawson.
1:48 to play in the opening quarter. Middleton finds Mosby. Mosby drives into traffic. Blocked Marino. Skierman rebound. Warhawks on a 4-0 run trying to extend it. Burrell dumps it into Dawson. Kicks to Walls for 3. Nice arc, but no good. Marino with the follow, no good. Tried to tip it back. Again. Malachi on the board. He's got 4. First field goal of the night makes it 14-11.
Padding the stats there. Moses Malone style. 3 offensive rebounds and a basket. But that's a problem with Hamilton out. There aren't many have that low center of gravity that Hamilton has to be able to keep him away from the basket. It'd be interesting to see how this goes the rest of this half.
McGrath likes to pop that 3 occasionally. Thought he might do it there. Quade Miles in the game. He played really well against Sayre on the defensive end and also against Bracken County. He's a guy they like to glue to one of the other team's best players when they get into foul trouble. Middleton on the drive. Off balance, falling down. He and Haynes have combined for all 13 in this opening quarter for the Cards. Dawson's going to get called for his second offensive foul, and as if on cue, Miles draws it.
I was just going to say he drew a tough assignment tonight because they've got him on Vince, but that was great positioning. He got caught a little bit in the transition, not getting back quick enough, but then he recovered quickly and took the charge. 2
fouls for each team, and they're both on Stars, Hamilton and Dawson, both of whom are now sitting down. 35 seconds to play opening quarter. Cards trying to regain the lead. Mosby across the timeline. Look like they're content to dribble out most, if not all, of this final 30 seconds. Jay-Z bounces it into Haynes, who finds Mosby. Mosby drive off the glass, no good. McGrath, tough rebound, swatted by Marino. There was going to be a foul first, however, I believe.
Really nice rebound by McGrath right there. Came crashing in.
Carson Walls on the foul. The hero of the JV game, Tristan Christopher, getting set to check in for SC. McGrath rolls in the free throw to tie it. He'll have another to try to put the Cards in front. Eli Moody, so the Cards have already used 9. That's probably more than the Warhawks will use tonight without Richardson. They usually have a 9-player rotation. McGrath sinks both. 15-14 Scott County.
And Tim just trying to get out of this quarter without anybody else getting a silly foul. 8 seconds to go.
Burrell. Drive. Float. Marino might have touched it in the cylinder. No call. It goes out of bounds to Scott County. 0.8 of a second. Enough time to catch and put up a prayer. Will Height throws it to half court to Moody. He won't get it off in time. Scott County leads it after 8 minutes, 15-14 over Great Crossing.
Really entertaining first quarter. You know, they both came out of the gate just on fire, making 3 after 3. Then toward the second third of the first quarter, there's defensive pressure turned up, and there were some turnovers and a little bit of sloppy play. And then a couple of fouls come into play, and that'll be interesting to see how it takes in the second quarter with Hamilton being out with 2 fouls, and not out, but 2 fouls. He's most likely to spend some time on the bench, and Dawson the same way.
Dustin's going to run us up the stats every quarter, which we got to love. SC with the biggest lead of the game, 9-5 of 4 points. There were 3 lead changes and 2 ties. Each team had a 9-2 run in that quarter, interestingly enough. 8 points for Haynes on 3 for 4 shooting. Middleton with 5 turnovers, 5 for Great Crossing, 4 for Scott County. SC scored 8 points off of those turnovers. Great Crossing got 4. Second chance points, Crossing with 6, County with 2. Both teams 2 for 2 at the foul line. 2 assists each for Wilhite and Middleton. Good ball movement there as they got the ball largely to Haynes. Wilhite was getting it to Middleton, and Middleton was getting it to Haynes. McGrath with the 2 free throws for the lead, and here we go. Second period action. Middleton with it. McGrath drops to Mosby on the Toyota Classic logo. Gets it back to an open McGrath. He will dump it to Middleton. Haynes, 8 points first quarter, guarded by Skierman, who had 6. We've got a foul away from the ball. It will be an offensive foul on Scott County.
Yeah,
Looked like Mosby.
Haynes and Skierman got into a little bit of a pushing match.
It is on Haynes, yep.
Haynes got the foul. Skierman wasn't letting him go where he wanted to cut.
2 hard-nosed seniors there. Isaiah Haynes has got the tattoos to prove it. He is a tough customer, and he is a streaky shooter, as he showed in the first quarter, and so is Ty. Walls to Skierman, who is open. Third time tonight, and he points at Haynes, and that's going to be a technical. Yeah. And Ty sometimes has done that this year and let the emotions get the best of him. He had one in the George Rogers Clark game.
Yeah, I got a little chippy right there, and then Ty rose up and drilled the 3, but he couldn't let that be well enough alone. He gave him the shoe sign and put his finger up to his lips. Anymore, that's a taunting automatic tech. So hate to see that, but
it's the emotions of the game. Mosby will go to the free throw line to try to take advantage. He'll make the first.
The biggest negative of this for Great Crossing could be that Mosby's going to see the ball go in the basket a couple times here for free. He had a rough first quarter. They really keyed on him, but sometimes those free throws can get you started.
First minute of the second period, 17 apiece. Mosby drives the baseline, just like you said. Didn't get it to fall, though, and Marino gets the rebound. Finds Stakelin, who's in the game. Now Walls. Back to Taekwon Stakelin. Stakelin, tough customer driving to the hoop, and he shows it there. Puts the Warhawks back on top.
I thought he left the ground a little bit early there, but he was able to hit that floater.
Got the finish. Back and forth we go. Wilhite, corner 3. Long, rebound, Skierman.
He hit one the other night against Sayre, but any points that they get from Andrew
Skierman,
outside the 3-point is
stopped, dish to Walls and Marino. Yeah, you're right. Walls, long, rebound, McGrath. Driving dish, Middleton to Mosby, swatted by Marino. Wilhite with the second chance 3 for the lead. And there's 3 of those bonus points.
That's right. That's big time. And he's a tough customer. He was tough on the football field. He's a tough competitor out here as well.
He is not shy about taking it. Tried to do it at the end of the Henry Clay game. Hit one to get him back in that one before that. And there's Christian Martin. He had 23 in the JV game. He says, I'm not tired. Here's a go-ahead hoop in the varsity contest, 21-20. Buckle up, folks. Wilhite to McGrath. Both teams have had to go deep to the bench early. Middleton to Mosby. JZ guarded in the corner by Walls. Finds McGrath for a 3. Lamurion knocks it down. Anything you can do, I can do better. That's what this one's been like so far, folks. 23-21, 5:14 to play in the half. Scott County back in front. Martin to Skierman, who's hit 3 threes already, picked up his dribble and finds Stakelin. Walls to Martin, tried to force it into Marino. A bailout foul for McGrath.
Coach Clinton going to put Jeremy Hamilton back in the game here with the 2 fouls. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Be interesting to see what Coach Steve Page does with Vince Dawson, the third in that regard. Stakelin to Martin, the baby left-handed hook to tie it. That's his strength.
There's that curl play again, the same play that Vince scored on just a minute ago.
Christian Martin with 4 big points here in the second period. 23 apiece, 440. Will Height to Haynes for 3, off. Rebound Walls. Great crossing trying to go ahead. Walls tried to throw the touchdown pass to Skierman. Haynes picked it off but threw it the length of the floor. Hamilton hustles after it but can't get it. Great crossing ball, 4:25 to play.
It's a couple of really spectacular athletes. Haynes made a great save. He can jump like nobody's business, and then Hamilton almost ran that ball down as it rolled out of bounds on the other end.
He ran a 28-yard dash to try to get it. To no avail. Martin, the spin move, the kick to Skierman for his 4th 3. In and out. Rebound Mosby. We are tied at 23 midway through the second period. J.Z. Middleton thought about driving, lost the handle ever so slightly, and will reset. He's got Mosby open. If he kicks it, he decides to hit the floater, rolls it in. Middleton with 7. Cards back on top.
He gave the little Jordan hands up in the air like, I don't know how that went in either. It was a great finish after the ball looked like it slipped out of his hands.
Carson Walls with it. Skierman to Martin, who's come up big in the second quarter. 3 non-starters on the floor right now for great crossing. Skierman to Marino, guarded by Hamilton. Hamilton reached in, didn't get called for his 3rd foul, fortunately for him. Stakelin, Martin, the strong take, no. Rebound Marino, fouled. Are they going to get Hamilton?
Yep, that's his 3rd.
That's a tough spot for Jeremy. He did all he could to avoid the contact. It was enough to make a difference. Threw Marino off as he was going back up. Marino will get a chance to tie it at 2:59. It is a loud crowd as Marino misses.
Now, Cal, maybe I'm wrong, but on the scoreboard it has that they put that one on.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, well,
if it's correct.
Well, I was going to say, the way Jeremy reacted, and he was certainly the closest to the play, but that's good news for Scott County.
And he's still in the game.
He is. That's the giveaway. Marino now 3 for 4 from the line, cuts it to 1. Walls guarding Middleton. Steps across the bird logo. Hamilton left alone up top, finds Wilhite. Wilhite into Mosby. Mosby, the drive, tried to lob it to Hamilton, stolen by Marino. Touchdown pass to Burrell, who lays it in for the lead. Janias Burrell's first 2 points puts great crossing back in front, 26-25. Now Middleton trapped by Burrell and Walls. Finds Wilhite. Time's a wasting. Middleton over the timeline. Hesitation, now dishes to Wilhite. Finds Hamilton, back to Andrew. And to Jay-Z. I've lost track of the lead changes. We're probably at 8 or 9 by now. Middleton for 3, and another! Scott County leads it. Middleton with 10. Are you not entertained? Skierman will let fly. No, rebound Mosby. Scott County, which it would be a big lead of 4 in this game, and Mosby makes it happen with his first field goal. And a steal. Reached by Burrell, and now Walls to try to knock it away. It will stay with the Cards. 1:31 to play.
Mosby kept driving. He's driven in there several times already and came across Big Malachi and had a tough time finishing, but he kept on doing it and finally paid off. Big finish that last time down.
Haynes to Middleton. Hamilton all alone finds Haynes. He hasn't been shy about shooting tonight. He'll get it to Mosby, who drives short. Rebound Marino. Minute to play. Finds Martin on the outlet. Martin the floater from the baseline. That lefty flip has yielded him 6 points.
Christian's having a great game.
Stayed hot from the JV contest. 30-28. Scott County will slow it down for the moment. Hamilton. Marino giving him space. He'll find Haynes. Godfrey not giving Haynes much. 30 seconds. They're just tempting Hamilton to shoot that three. He'll do it eventually. Mosby will dribble out some more time. Scott County appears content to take the lead into the locker room. Now 15 seconds. Christian Martin looks to Coach Steve Page and the bench for some advice. Mosby spins around him, can't get it to fall. Rebound Walls, looks up at the clock, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He throws it the length of the court, and Hamilton intercepts as time expires. Tremendous first half. Ends with the Scott County Cardinals on top by a score of 30-28. It was 15-14 in both quarters.
Yeah, an entertaining first half, high energy. Both teams really getting after it. A lot of pride in both schools. It's what you want to see. I think we're in for maybe the second half will be the same, and we'll have one of those single-digit endings that you said
we've had some close first halves, so I don't want to assume anything right now, but it just has that feeling. And the thing that you got to remember if you're Great Crossing, you got to feel good about is we haven't really seen Vince Dawson III at all tonight. He picked up the 2 quick fouls, only scored 2 points. If you can be in this game with that being the case, you're in pretty good shape, I would think.
Yeah, both leading scorers. I think Mosby only ended up with 4. Is that right?
I think you're correct. Yep,
so
all in the second
Dawson
quarter.
with 2 and Mosby with
some
4.
Unsung heroes here is, well, Middleton's a double-digit scorer, but he got shut out the other night, has 10 tonight. Haynes with 8. Mosby with 4. McGrath had a big 3 for 5, and Wilhite had a 3. They've got threes. They've hit 6 from 4 different sources. Skierman has hit 3 for 9 points for Great Crossing. Martin with the 6. Marino 5, and then 2 apiece for Dawson, Burrell, Godfrey, and Stakeland. Turnovers 8 for Great Crossing, 7 for Scott County. Rebounds 15-9 in favor of the Warhawks. The only foul trouble, 2 apiece for Hamilton and Dawson.
And Steve Page has got to be elated with the play of Christian Martin off the bench, putting in 6 points and really under control and running the offense like he wants him to add another player to the depth chart. And he plays quite a bit anyway.
He was a varsity player and had a game winner against Frankfurt at the end of last year in a crazy comeback. And he's a guy that missed some time, a lot of time around Christmas and New Year's when they had that bout with the COVID situation, and they were down to really 5 healthy regulars. And he's pretty much played on the JV roster to kind of round back into shape ever since. Hasn't seen a ton of varsity minutes, but as you said, it's not that he's not proven and capable. And we may see that the fact that he's well rested being to his benefit tonight.
And with Gage being out tonight, he's getting an opportunity. We knew that there would be some kids that probably get some minutes that maybe they don't normally get. You ask Wally Pipp what happens when somebody takes advantage of that, right?
Yeah, well, it's next man up, as they say, and you don't, and that's kind of Steve Page's philosophy too. Is he wants to challenge his guys to say, "Hey, look, we'll find someone to go in and play hard," and that really goes a long way with this Warhawks coaching staff, with any coach, but it really seems to have been the philosophy that he's tried to instill, especially this year, now that they have that depth.
His dad came over to say hello before the game. He's one of our school resource officers who we appreciate very much here in Scott County, keeping our kids safe. He's in uniform tonight to make sure everything stays safe here, and appreciate his service.
It's been loud, but it's been well-behaved and all within the accepted levels of decorum so far. We're proud of, for the most part, I believe, of the way the community has handled these 3 years since this became the new arrangement. In the long term, it's just an exciting thing. You just see, time after time, I come back to the fact that we've got kids doing things out there tonight that wouldn't even be on the court if it were one school and one team, and showing what they can do at the varsity level.
Yeah, lots of opportunities, and that's what you want. You want your kids to have opportunities and outstanding opportunities in this county.
And I think both teams rightfully feel if they get to the 11th region tournament, they can do some damage. And who knows? We may even see them play each other if it comes to that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It'd be beyond fun. It could happen in any round. First round in particular, depending on how things shake out, you'll have a district champion hosting a district runner-up in each of those 4 quarterfinal games. Great Crossing, hate to say it, but certainly the favorite in the 41st.
Right.
And Scott County, I feel like you could put 4 teams in a hat and any of them can win it. And even Sayre the other night showed that they're capable of hanging in with anybody. They stayed within 10 or 12 of Henry Clay the night before that.
Yeah, they've got some nice players, kids that really know their role and that play physical. They've got some big, strong kids.
And on the girls' side, I saw Tyra Young down there, and I'm reminded of the fact that Scott County girls finally got themselves a signature win the other night over Berea. They finally got the starting 5 they thought they were going to have all along. It was only their 6th win of the season. I don't think there's anybody in that 42nd district tournament that wants to face them in the first round or the second or the third. And if they can get to regions, they just knocked off the second-ranked team in the region. So I think that speaks volumes to what they can do if they get there. Great Crossing girls have been struggling as of late, but, their task is before them. They've just got to take care of business next week against Frankfort, and they'll be back at regions. Get healthy and let the chips fall. We've got a couple more games this week, so don't feel like this is the last one. Big one as Scott County will get a litmus test on Thursday night. They'll welcome the top-ranked George Rogers Clark Cardinals from Winchester. A team that Great Crossing gave some fits on a Sunday afternoon a few weeks back, and we'll see what Scott County can do.
I'll be back with you for that one.
Looking forward to it. Friday night, we'll wrap up the girls' regular season schedule over at Great Crossing as the Lady Warhawks will host Lexington Catholic. Great Crossing 12-12 now on the girls' side. They go to East Jessamine on Wednesday, I believe, before that. So they've got a couple of games they'd like to get back on a winning streak going into the right time of year. Great Crossing boys will play the winner of Franklin County and Frankfort Christian. I would expect that will be the Flyers, and it will be a rematch of last year's semifinal. We all remember what happened, and Steve Haynes doesn't need to say much to motivate his guys. Yeah, we don't know about the 42nd because we've got a coin flip for the 3rd spot. And it's a huge coin flip because you're either going to go directly to a semifinal or you've got to play a quarterfinal game and then play the top seed, neither of which is a favorable situation. But again, if Scott County ends up in that scenario, they've got to feel like hopefully the 3rd time is the charm against Henry Clay, as they've lost 2 by a grand total of 9 points.
Yeah, I think they have to have the confidence that they can give us a third chance at them, and we can take that. We can take that chance.
Henry Clay's averaged 51.5 points and 2 wins over Scott County, so they haven't set the world on fire. It's been some of the best defensive efforts the Cardinals have shown this year. Let's get back to this one. Any adjustments other than maybe getting your regular 5 on the floor at once that you would make if you were Steve Page?
Yeah, I think he'll be glad to be able to put Vince back out there. You know, they started to press just a little bit, but J.Z. Middleton handled that so well. I don't know that pressing is the right call in the second half. I think Steve will do some token pressure, but once you get him in a half court, there were a lot of times when they drove when Malachi was back there off of Jeremy Hamilton by the rim to erase the shot or alter it, one of the two. But that also caused when Jeremy screened, he was able to get other people open because Malachi wasn't up there to help. And so I think that's something that probably Tim Glenn's going to try to take advantage of, is to make Jeremy a screener to get those other folks open because Malachi's playing so far off of him.
Key for Scott County, I think. Nick Mosby's 1 for 9 from the field. The rest of the team 9 for 12. If you're Coach Glenn, you got to just tell Nick, keep that shooter's mentality. It's going to go down eventually, and usually when one does for him, it's just a matter of time, and then things start to swing his way.
And he passed up a couple of 15-foot shots to go try to drive to the basket. I'm not sure why he did that, but I think that he could shoot the 15-footer and be just fine. I don't imagine Tim would be discouraging of that because he can score from all levels.
He's getting to the rim. The thing is, getting to the rim is one thing against Great Crossing, but putting it over 6'10" Malachi Marino is entirely another. And even when he doesn't block shots, which he, according to this, has blocked 2, but he alters so many others.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was a part of the game plan to go in and challenge him and maybe try to get some fouls on him. Maybe that was part of the game plan. But I think pulling up from the free throw line, if he can get a 15-foot jumper, that would be something that he should consider.
No fouls on Malachi. They had the 2 quick ones on Trey. Walls had one, and then Skierman had the technical. And that's been it against Great Crossing. The officials have let it be physical.
I think they've done a nice job. They've called the obvious fouls and haven't done much of the ticky-tack stuff.
Yep.
But it's been good.
Yeah, I would agree. Most of the fouls have been called in the paint, not out 30 feet from the basket where nothing is really affected.
That one time things started to get chippy, they got in and got that under control and hadn't been a problem again. I think they've done well.
Great Crossing will start the second half with the ball. Skierman will inbound it, guarded by Mosby. His team, Ty's team, trailing by 2. He'll find Burrell. Dawson back in the game, gets it to Burrell, lays it in for the tie. Nice little give and go there. 30 apiece. We have been tied on 5 different occasions. The lead has been swapped 9 times. Middleton dishes to Haynes, right elbow extended, way short. Marino rebound. Here's Burrell on the run, gets it knocked out of his hands by Hamilton, but right to Godfrey, blocked by Mosby. Godfrey puts it back and draws the foul. And he will go to the line for a chance to reclaim the lead.
The great hustle back tip right there by Hamilton, but it ended up almost being an assist. Went right to Godfrey, right under the basket.
Led to 2 free throws for Jeremiah. Misses the first. Godfrey, 2 points in the first half. Great Crossing 3 for 4 from the line in the first half. Scott County made all 4 of its attempts. The 10th lead change of the night as Godfrey hits the second free throw, 31-30. Middleton. One-on-one with Burrell. Gets it across the half-court stripe, spins, kicks it to Hamilton, bobbled it momentarily, now finds Middleton in the corner. He will drive the baseline, find Haynes cutting for the floater and the go-ahead hoop.
It's another situation where Haynes does a great job moving without the ball to cut from that opposite wing right down the middle of the lane.
Lead change number 11, 32-31, Scott County. Lob from Burrell to Dawson, who finds Skierman, now kicks it to Burrell for a 3. Warhawks back in front as Janias has 7.
Big shot.
Janias can hit that. He can get to the rim. Stolen momentarily by Skierman. Now Haynes recovers and shoots from that spot that he likes to tie it. 15-footer, nothing but net.
I thought that was going to be a turnover, and Haynes said, nope, I'm snatching that one back.
Gave him a little cushion. And he's got the confidence going right now.
Scott County's got Wilhite guarding Dawson right now. They're trying to post him.
Godfrey with a strong take, missed, but there's Marino with the stick back. Malachi, 7 points. Great crossing in front, 36-34, 2 minutes gone in the second half. Jay-Z Middleton to Jeremy Hamilton. Drops it back to Middleton. Wilhite thought about a potential go-ahead three. Now thinks better and gives it back to Jay-Z. Tim Glenn directing traffic. Middleton to Mosby. Skierman shadows Mosby. I said Hamilton was going to take that three eventually, and he doesn't.
Cal the Prophet.
Makes me look like I know what I'm talking about. I've still lost track of the lead changes. That might be number 13. Scott County is ahead 37-36. Inside to Dawson. The leads don't last long tonight. Second chance for Trey. He takes advantage. 38-37 GC, 5 minutes to play, third quarter. They can debate what's the best Super Bowl halftime show, but there's not going to be any debate about what's the best Battle of the Birds after tonight, I don't think. We have already had it. Middleton for three. No. Rebound. Nope. Wilhite tried to tip it. Instead, he tipped it to Dawson. We might actually have consecutive baskets by one team here. Nope. Skierman will dribble through and around Mosby and get it to Burrell. 4.5 minutes to play in the third period. Foul line jumper for Godfrey is good. Burrell on the assist.
That's a nice weapon. If Godfrey can make that one, Godfrey can make
Thrown
that
away.
one.
Skierman with the interception.
They're focusing so much energy on guarding Vince in the post.
Marino with the offensive rebound after Burrell missed short on the drive.
I don't know what the biggest lead of the night is, Cal, but
I
it feels like
believe
this
it
might
was
be
4, so
Yeah.
this is it. Blocked. Godfrey swatted Haynes' attempt. Haynes gets it back for three. Short. Rebound Skierman.
Yeah,
He'll take it end to end. Off the glass, too strong, but Marino had one. Biggest lead of the night expands to 7.
Malachi did a great job running the floor, just ready to clean that up.
They're taking advantage of their advantage inside right now. Haynes at the foul line, leans under Godfrey and gets it to go to end the run. 45-39.
There's no quit in that one.
No,
He
has a
fight you
motor.
to the end, yes.
Knocked out of Marino's hands by Hamilton. It will stay with the Warhawks. 3:15 to play, third period. Great crossing up 6. Scott County's biggest lead was 4. Great Crossing's biggest lead has been 8. Dawson fouled by Mosby. And we'll go to the line. Trey Dawson missed most of the first half with 2 fouls. Now Mosby has 2 for the Cardinals. They've been whistled for all 3 in this second half. It has been a takeover at the rim since intermission as Dawson, Marino, and Godfrey with help from Burrell and Skierman as well. They've got the 5 out there they want right now. Dawson makes the first one. Trey is true with both for 6 points on the night, 47-39.
A little run and jump here.
Will Height finds Middleton. He's been guarded well by Burrell this half after scoring 10 early. Haynes leans into Godfrey, kicks to Hamilton, who finds Mosby. Skierman has done the job on Nick Mosby tonight. Middleton through traffic. Moreno's going to get called for the foul there. And Jay-Z will go to the line as the clock stops at 2:37. Middleton makes the first. He's got 11. Haynes has 14 to lead the Cardinals. Haynes will sit down. McGrath checks in. Had himself 5 big points, including a go-ahead three-pointer in the first half. Jay-Z Middleton 2 for 2 from the line to cut it back to 6. Burrell up ahead to Dawson. Kick to Skierman from the left corner. Can't bank it in. And here's Mosby on the run. Burrell will stop his progress and get whistled. And SC has stemmed the tide to this point, as things were headed in Great Crossing's direction, but now the Cards within 6 with the ball. McGrath inside the arc, in and out. Mosby fighting for the rebound. Middleton will get it and drop it in to cut it to 4.
It's funny how when you work super hard, you're in the right place at the right time more often than not.
Mosby hustling to defend Dawson. It goes out of bounds and stays with the Warhawks. Dawson from the foul line, yes. Back to a 6-point lead. And a timeout for Steve Page, a 30 at the 1:46 mark.
Really a smooth cut there by Dawson. They overplayed him on coming off the screen, and so he faded back out, knocked down the 17-foot shot. Cal, one thing I was going to bring up tonight while we had everybody's attention at this game, it's great that we honored Brian Hudson at halftime. Well-deserving. I also wanted to bring to light Connor Wilhite, son of assistant coach Chris Wilhite, has done an awesome job with his Connor Sports podcast.
Definitely give it a listen if you
need
haven't.
to listen. And he did an interview with Yukari Figs, whose jersey hangs on the wall over here, and she's got a state championship, a college championship at Purdue, and a WNBA championship, and now she's an engineer at Toyota, and her story is worth a listen. And Connor did an interview with her. I would encourage everybody to go check out Connor's Sports Show.
State champion with the Scott County Lady Cardinals, national champion with the Purdue Lady Boilermakers, WNBA champion with the Los Angeles Sparks. Not many people can claim that resume, that triple crown.
So it's called Connor's Sports Talk, and it's on Spotify. I would encourage you to check it out.
Andrew Wilhite drops it off to Jay-Z Middleton. 13 points for Jay-Z tonight. Finds Mosby, who's been contained by Ty Skierman. Just following him around. Me and my shadow. Hamilton to the hoop, blocked by Godfrey. Stays with the Cardinals. 1:20 to play. Third quarter. Warhawks by 6. Moreno and Hamilton leaning on each other a little bit. Middleton finds Hamilton, gets it to Mosby. The drive, the left-hander finally gets it to go in and cuts it to 4. Nick has 6 points. Cards have cut their largest deficit in half. It's a two-possession game closing in on the final minute of this third quarter. Dawson, Skierman, step back, deflection by Mosby. Dawson chases it down. Middleton pretends to feint away from a flying elbow, no call.
They give that flop signal sometimes on that one.
Burrell lost the handle. Wilhite hustle play on the floor. Now Burrell gets it back, tripped up, keeps his feet, finds Skierman.
What great hustle by both teams. You had 4 guys at the floor right there going for that ball.
Ty Skierman drops it off for Janias. Burrell finds an open Dawson for 3. It's short. Rebound Mosby. Cards can cut further into this deficit in the final 20 seconds of this third quarter. Hamilton to Middleton.
They're going to take the last one.
That would be the smart move. They are within 4 of the Warhawks. Middleton guarded by Burrell like a glove. He'll find McGrath for 3. Godfrey came in late to disrupt it. Wave his arm, throw it off just a little bit. Skierman comes down with the rebound at the horn. Cards have put up 15 in every period, but that was the biggest quarter for Great Crossing with 21. And we have a 49-45 game with 8 minutes to play.
Yeah, that was the first. Well, you said we had 2 9-2 runs early in the game, but that was the first run that really has happened when Great Crossing took that bigger lead. Couple of defensive stops, and they got up. Scott County battled back. A couple of nice plays by Isaiah Haynes to just make sure that they stayed in, and then a finish by Mosby on the left side, opposite of where Malachi was that time. So he was able to finish and didn't have to go over the big fella.
It was an 11-3 run.
Got a load of administrators in the house tonight. I see Coach McKee and Coach Helton over there, DT Wells from the district office. I saw Billy Parker here tonight. Important night for the community. Glad to see everybody here.
The game has lived up to that interest and hype. It is 49-45 with 8 minutes to play in regulation. Cardinals ball, they trail. Middleton with it. Finds Hamilton. Drops it back off to Middleton to Wilhite. Mosby screen and roll right at Marino. And he'll draw the foul on Malachi. Saw Nick Mosby shooting free throws at the half, and I think he knew he had to bite the bullet and get to the rim here down the stretch. His team's going to have a shot. He's an 80+% free throw shooter. Hits the first.
They've run this pick and roll a couple of times. They did it with Hamilton just a second ago and did it with Mosby that time.
It's a 2-point game as Mosby makes both. He has 8 on the night. Less than half his average. Ty Skierman's been largely responsible for that. Warhawks led by as many as 8. Cards making a run. Marino kicks it to Skierman. Left corner finds Dawson. 7:18 to play in regulation. Dawson spins around Mosby, lays it off the glass and in. Back to a 2-possession game. Dawson in double digits.
That was a nice take by Vince. Got it shoulder to shoulder on the spin move and then finished strong.
Jay-Z Middleton. 14 points for the Cardinals. He finds Mosby. Mosby drives at Skierman. Now kicks it to Haynes for 3. In and out. Rebound Marino. That would have cut it to 1. Instead, Marino will throw it almost away. Now it'll be a backcourt violation. Burrell didn't like the call. at the 6:35 mark.
It's an interesting rule. It was the ball
It was
and
touched and then went back to.
And it was last touched by Great Crossing. So I think it was the correct call.
I do also, but it was a tough one to understand if you're Janias and you're living in the moment.
And never had possession.
Right.
A lot of folks think you have to have possession. That's not necessarily the case.
Middleton drive, jumper, short, rebound, Wilhite. Finds Mosby. Passes up the three for the drive and the floater. 2-point game. Mosby in double figures with 10. 51-49.
Big rebound by Andrew there to get him an extra possession.
Godfrey throws it away. Wilhite. Deflected off of Dawson. And the Cards can tie or go ahead. Under 6 minutes. Middleton. Drops it off for Mosby. Another floater to tie it. 51 apiece. Cards have stormed back. 12-4 run. Dawson answers no. Rebound Hamilton.
A good offensive possession there. Just couldn't get the 5-footer to go down.
Mosby has been the guy. He's guarded by Skierman and Godfrey there. Middleton drive and drop off to Hamilton from the right baseline. Haynes with the backside follow. Scott County leads it with 5 minutes to play.
Tim Glenn takes a timeout.
14-4 run.
It's a mosh pit down here to my right, Cal. I don't know if you can see it from your angle, but they are having a big time down here,
literally.
Led by the football guys.
The atmosphere is, the old barn is rocking tonight.
And Scott County's stuck with this high ball screen, this kind of they do some handoffs and they might get you on the second or third handoff, but it ends up being a ball screen and roll at the top of the key. And they've made some good decisions out of it. They've come across and got Mosby a couple of floaters down the lane, and they got Hamilton a floater on the baseline. 2 offensive rebounds because it's gotten Great Crossing a little bit discombobulated defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, Scott County has never beaten Great Crossing in this gym. Both their wins in the series taking place across town. They're looking to end that tonight. Great Crossing, that timeout might have helped them. They needed to settle things down a bit.
Yep. Steve's good at that. He's got a good feel.
Dawson drives it at Mosby for the tie, rolls it in. Little one-handed floater. 53 apiece, ticking down to the 4.5-minute mark. Middleton got it knocked out of his hands. Might have just lost it, but Burrell was coming from behind and Marino intercepted. Now it's Burrell, skip past the Skierman. Ball fake, Mosby picks up his dribble, dumps it into Godfrey for the lead. No. Gets it back, no. Foul on Hamilton. That's Hamilton's third. Clock stops at 4:12. Godfrey free throws for the lead. Sixteenth lead change of the basketball game. And we've got a long way to go. 55-53 as Godfrey sinks both. Martin checks back in for the first time since his big second quarter. Mosby thought about the three. Now he'll drop it off to Jay-Z. Under 4 minutes. Deflection by Dawson into the Scott County bench. Mosby to inbound. Burrell the steal, just a bad pass. And Janias will make Scott County pay. Burrell in double figures with 11.
And he's had a quietly good game. He's done a nice job defensively guarding full court the whole time. He's been the only pressure they put on.
Deflection by Burrell. Steal by Burrell. Drop off to Skierman. No. Skierman tips it. Gets a third opportunity. Still nothing. Dawson had it, but lost it to Wilhite. Here come the Cards. Drew on the run. No, but he'll go to the line.
Nice play by Andrew. They were playing volleyball with it down there on the offensive glass, and then they finally brought it down to their knees, and Andrew swiped it out of there, and he was not going to be denied to the rim that time.
Makes the first. 57-54. 3:16 to play. The senior coming up clutch with 2 free throws. 2-point game. Janias Burrell has come up big defensively here in the late stages. Gets it to Dawson. Marino dumps it to Dawson. Drop off for Martin. Guarded by Hamilton. Under 3 minutes. Martin will pull it out. Now he'll drive at Hamilton. Lays it off the glass, no good. Rebound Mosby. Cards can tie or retake the lead. Middleton to Hamilton. Right at Marino for an and one. Tied up.
Wow. That was an athletic play right there. He exploded to the rim and then took off. Hit Malachi like he was a middle linebacker and just created some space to finish that shot off.
Hamilton, potentially the 17th lead change of the game. Yes. What will be the Warhawks' answer? Dawson has it. Under 2.5 minutes. Lob into Marino. Always the smart play, and he will go to the line.
And they really haven't gotten many post feeds into Malachi tonight.
No, he's gotten most of what he's got on second chances. We've documented his struggles at the line, but tonight, Marino was 4 for 5. And he ties it. 2:24 to play in regulation. 58-58. Marino will try to break that tie. In and out. Mosby rebound. Jay-Z Middleton. Across the timeline, guarded by Burrell. Finds Hamilton. Drop off to Mosby. Shadowed by Skierman. 2 minutes. Wilhite, right baseline. Floater blocked by Martin. Rebound Marino. Christian Martin has been huge tonight when he's been on the floor. Advantage, Warhawks. As Steve Page will call the timeout at 1:46.
Be interesting to see what Steve draws here with the last offensive possession, being able to throw it into Malachi on the post, but they've been going to Dawson a lot. I'm going to guess that he's going to draw something up specifically for Vince to have an opportunity to score. Man, this has been a fun game.
This has been incredible. This is what we've all been hoping for 3 years now. We just haven't gotten one to come down to the wire like this. It was inevitable. Two teams, as we said coming in, have been peaking. You might not be able to tell it necessarily from the record, but the eyeball test says that Scott County had been playing very well. Great crossing, some signature wins on its resume. Make no mistake, if they get one tonight, this will be another. Skierman to Burrell. Clock winds at 1:46. Martin to Skierman for a three.
Wow.
Dagger! His fourth of the night.
Ty Skierman playing with some ultimate confidence tonight.
If I'm in a war, I want Ty Skierman on my side. Thrown away. Haynes tried to get it to Mosby. He was guarded by Dawson.
Skierman really was up in Haynes and made him throw that pass a little bit low.
His defense has been every bit as big as his offense tonight.
Yeah, there's Vince on the post.
Dawson drops it in. The kind rim at 107. Make it 106, timeout.
Yeah, they ran a simple little screen across play that time, and Skierman went across the lane and screened for Dawson to come to get the ball on the block with the advantage, and he was able to finish it off. 5-point lead with 106 left. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Glenn brings out of the huddle this time. Of course, the Warhawks have done this token press, and I don't know that it's been really to steal anything. It's been to make J.Z. Middleton work hard all the way up the floor and to take some time off the clock. They may just do the whole Lexington Catholic press thing where they're just going to make you take a little bit more time off the clock here by the way that they put up the pressure. I got to give props to the Scott County Drum Corps. They have been outstanding all night.
Yep, they have made a difference for their team. They really, 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 really made a difference for the girls the other night. That game we talked about against Berea, just love the atmosphere.
I mean, everybody's bouncing around, and that drum beat is happening in here.
If you love high school basketball, you had to have enjoyed this one. It's not over. 66 seconds. J.Z. Middleton. Scott County needs a basket in fairly short order. Under a minute. Will Height spins. Kicks to Haynes. Haynes drops off to Hamilton. 50 seconds. Almost threw it away. Middleton finds Mosby for three. Right wing. Back rim no good. Rebound Malachi Marino. And a foul. And Scott County had one to give. It'll be on Andrew Wilhite. His second.
We're going to bring Carson Walls into the game for Malachi for, he's a 76% free throw shooter. I would guess they're wanting to get him into the game to knock down some free throws.
Burrell. Dribbling away time. Finds Skierman. Gets it back to Burrell. They need to foul pretty quick. Ball's in the air. Skierman recovers. Dawson, Martin wide open. Lays it up and in. Huge bucket. 3-possession game. Christian Martin with 8 tremendously key points tonight. Middleton strong on the shot. Rebound Martin. This one's over. 12 seconds. Walls fouled by Middleton. Great crossing, can celebrate. Ty Skierman flexing. You flex, son. Ty Skierman is your Georgetown Community Hospital player of the game. The 4-3 was the final swing of the night that broke the final tie, and his defense on Nick Mosby was tremendous.
He guarded them all. When the Haynes was going off,
I was going to say,
Haynes,
he just, whoever was hot, he
That's
just
right.
put him on him. But for the most part in this second half, he was chasing after Nick Mosby and making it very, very difficult for him to get the ball in position to score. Carson Wells will try to further cement it at the line, makes the first. This might end up being a double-digit margin. It's up to 8. It's probably going to freeze at 9, even if he makes this. Student section chanting, "We got football." Well, Great Crossing's pretty good too right now, I'll tell you. We had 2 wars in that realm this past fall. Miss, rebound, and that will do it. Great Crossing escapes 67-58 over the Scott County Cardinals and gets their 22nd win of the season.
That was a great game. I hope everybody enjoyed that one. Like I said before the game started, we're for all of them. We want them all to be successful. We want to proclaim them as great kids that they are, great coaching staffs that both teams have. And what a battle tonight. Across the town, the bird's nest. It's been a pleasure, Cal. This was a fun game to do.
This is awesome. Great Crossing closes the game on a 10-0 run. For their 22nd win. We'll say they swept the regular season series. We can't say the season series because who knows? I'd pay to watch it again, to tell you the truth.
They both have good games heading into the district.
We will wrap this up quickly with some stats as I got to go get 2 sets of interviews. For Scott County, Isaiah Haynes, 16, Jay-Z Middleton, 14, Nick Mosby, 12, 6 for Jeremy Hamilton, 5 apiece for Andrew Wilhite and Lamarion McGrath for the total of 58. Great Crossing with a plus 13 advantage on the boards. Malachi Marino double-double with 13 and 15, but Ty Skierman 4 for 7 from 3 for 12 points. Couple of big steals, couple of block shots. Great Crossing blocked 7 shots. 4 different Warhawks had one. Vince Dawson, the leading scorer after having only 2 at halftime with the 2 fouls. He winds up with 14, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 for Janias Burrell, 8 for Christian Martin, 7 for Jeremiah Godfrey, 2 apiece for Carson Walls and Tyquan Stakeland for the total of 67. Any final words of wisdom to yell over the band before we get out of here?
I think it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what both of these teams do in district tournament play.
We'll be back here Thursday night. Keep an eye for great Scott County against George Rogers Clark. That'll be another dandy as GRC is ranked number 1 in the state. For Brett Smith, for James and Mike Scoggin, for DT Wells, for Keith Greiser, I'm merely Cal Oaks. Hope you enjoyed it. Good night. God bless. Your final score one more time. The Great Crossing Warhawks go to 22-6 with a 67-58 win over the Scott County Cardinals. See you Thursday, everybody.
Thanks, Cal.
Thank you.